Well, Craig and Sylvia, thank you so much for your time. We watched the first episode last night. So adorable. I just love everything about it, the colors, the town of Avalor. I literally just wanted to jump into the screen and be there. It's just so
Me
beautiful.
too.
How did the whole story come about? What were you inspired by to create the first Latina Disney princess?
Well, I was inspired by a couple of things. I mean, one of them was the huge demand and need for a Latina princess. You know, I've been working on another show I created, Sofia the First, and I'm in the world of Disney princesses because Sofia meets all the classic Disney princesses, and you know, so I learned all about them and saw that a lot of people wanted a Latina princess, and so I started thinking about how I would do that, you know, and I thought, you know, a Latina princess would be such a huge character. She really deserved her own series, and that deserved an idea big enough to have a whole series wrapped around it. So one day I was in my office, I said, what fresh new take on a princess would I want to see? Something really empowering. And then I thought, what's more empowering than being in charge? What if there was a princess who was ruling her own kingdom?
I barely slept last night. I mean, how are you supposed to sleep the night before you become queen?
So when do you get your crown?
Tonight at the royal ball.
We will be there.
I thought to myself, you know, that is an idea worthy of being Disney's first Latina princess. And then it became a matter of just getting everyone else to let us do it.
I feel like a lot of the reactions were when the news first break out, it's about time. Do you think it was like long overdue, or did it come just at the right moment? The whole Latina Disney princess.
I mean, you know, I think it's something that a lot of people have been asking for and wanting for a long time. You know, for me, it's like, you know, things happen for a reason, and a lot of experiences lead up to something happening. So, you know, I think this is a great time for it to be happening. It was a great kind of confluence of events of, you know, my experiences in my life and my travels and things that inspire me about, you know, a Latin American culture. And then also, you know, working with Silvia, who's, you know, can tell you she's been waiting for a Latina princess for a long, long time.
Long time.
And, you know, everything coming together really at the right moment.
I just got Isa back. I can't lose her again. What was I thinking? I never should have left the harbor. Oh, Skylar! Skylar!
I feel like you guys make such a perfect team. You could just see it through at least the first episode yesterday. And last night you mentioned that you also based a lot of the story on your life, on your family members, like the grandparents, for instance. Tell us a little more about that.
About the grandparents?
Yes.
Well,
I love that story, by the way.
I definitely didn't want the abuelos to be the typical abuelos. I wanted them to have a life, to be three-dimensional. And Craig wanted the same thing. And so I started to tell him about my grandparents. And my grandpa was just like Francisco. My grandpa would play the guitar after dinner and serenade my grandma. And I could just tell they were in love. And my grandma was a big personality. She would watch telenovelas and paint her nails and her hair, just the whole thing. But she always had great advice.
Right.
And you know, as being Latinos, we realized our grandparents had this whole life before we were even born.
And there's such a special bond also, usually, at least in I noticed it in our community, between grandparents and the grandkids.
For sure, for sure. And it's the same with Elena. And that's what I wanted to show. And I knew it was going to resonate with the Latino community when they saw how important Elena's grandparents were.
And I don't know if anyone told you this, but I feel like Elena kind of looks like you too.
Oh, thank you. You're my favorite reporter.
No, I noticed that from the first time I looked you up and I saw your pictures. I'm like, wait a minute, there's a little resemblance. And then I see the red and the big eyes.
Maybe because I wear red and I stand like
and
this
the big, beautiful eyes. She looks so much like you. I'm like, maybe they based that on her too.
Papa, how will I show them I can be as good a leader as you? The city. Of course! Today, I will meet with all the city leaders and make sure they have what they need to restore our kingdom to greatness.
How did Amy come into this? How did you guys choose Amy out of anyone else?
Well, we cast a wide net. I mean, this is a new Disney princess after all, and we wanted to make sure that we heard as many auditions as possible. And we heard a lot of talented actresses. But what separated Amy for us was her ability to be funny and charming but also serious and sad and emotional, and to really convey all that with just her voice, which is harder than it sounds. You know, she just has a great depth of character, and she brings so much charm, and you can just hear it. But really, honestly, of all the auditions, when it came right down to it, you know, she was the one that actually made us get teary-eyed when we were listening to the sad part.
And the voice is just so beautiful. My niece was with us, and she's like, "Is it the same girl singing?" She sounds. It's just a magical thing when you watch it. And what I really love about this, it's that it's just not a movie, it's a series. So there's like so many storylines to follow every episode. And I'm sure you guys had a lot of fun with that.
Well, if I'm gonna rule this kingdom, I can't be afraid of taking on a few thieves.
Exactly.
Come on, Naomi.
Wait, what? You want me to go with you? On one of those things?
Hello, we are Jacquins, national symbols. You may have seen us on the flag.
We're gonna have different tones to the episodes. So you're gonna have comedies, you're gonna have adventure, you're gonna have romps. It's going to be an amazing journey, and I can't wait for everyone to see it.
It's almost here, July 22nd.
It's almost here, I know.
How exciting is that?
It's really exciting for people to finally see what we've been working on for over 2 years now, because it takes so long to do animation. But I'm even more excited to see, hopefully, people fall in love with Elena as a character and her adventure and this epic journey we're setting her on, because, you know, you're going to have 26 episodes in that first season that starts telling her story and all her family and friends' stories, and then that's just the launching off point, hopefully.
Then what are we waiting for? I'll take charge like the leader I know I can be, and take care of all those who are counting on me.
Though you know I hold you in the highest esteem, there's more to good leadership.
And what I also love about this, which congratulations, is the fact that Elena comes from not a Latino person, and you don't have daughters. You mentioned last night you only have sons.
That's correct.
So I find that so cool that you were able to create this character without being a Latino and without having girls in your house, where, you know, usually dads turn more into like the sensitive part.
Well, you know, it's funny because, you know, I created Sofia the first, and, you know, and every once in a while someone would say to me, you know, how could you come up with this show when, you know, when you don't have any girls? And it's like, well, you know, I'm not an 8-year-old girl, and I'm not a princess either. So somehow I was able to do it. Although at this point, maybe I am an honorary princess after another show about a princess. But I think the thing is that, you know, I come from this background of wanting to create worlds and tell stories that haven't been told before. And so that's what I bring to the table is sort of a love for doing that, is to do all the research. And, you know, I'm not Latino, but I just love the culture and the history and everything, the music. And, you know, for years I've been interested in the music and traveled. And so I took all that love for it and then surrounded myself with a very diverse crew to help make it feel authentic. So that, you know, you have Silvia, who's our head writer, who brings her experiences into it. And together, we create this new world. So I think it's really wonderful to just have a diverse crew working on something that is both authentic and fantastic and entertaining, hopefully.
Well, thank you so much for your time again, and much success to you. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of seasons to follow after this. July 22nd.
July
Channel.
22nd, Disney Channel. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.